let's see, who could I use? Maybe I will use, well, I'll use you maybe for the demos if you feel like it. So today we're going to work on some blade actions. In the way that I was taught fencing, blade actions are categorized as preparations of attack. And there's two different categories of them. One is like attacks on the blade, and then the other category of them is takings of the blade. Those are the two categories. So you guys kind of know these already. You've all done sessions before. So I think we're going to dive right into some of the exercises. And we're going to start off at close distance. We're going to do 3 different types of them. We're going to start with beats at the beginning. So the first one is just a beat attack. The second one is a change beat, or a change beat. And then the third one is going to be a beat disengage, okay? If we need to stop at any point, or if that's a little bit too much for you guys, just let me know and I'll come by and help, or we can break it up into them, but we're just gonna jump into it. So the first one is beat, hit direct. The second one is going to be disengage under or over, beat, hit direct. The next one is going to be beat, change of line, hit. Okay, I'll demonstrate them with Marley. So Marley, as the coach, she's just going to present her blade with a slight extension. Yeah, just exactly like that. So the first one is beat, hit, and you can do so at close distance if you want to. Beat, hit.
Question,
and
do
then
you want
lunge.
me to respond to that or just?
At the moment, no, just let me hit.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is going to be disengage under, beat, hit, or alternatively you can change beat, hit. And then the next one is going to be beat, she responds, hit, or beat, she responds, hit. Okay? Does that make sense? You're going to start at a close distance and run them through maybe each 5 times, so 5 sets of 3. And then after that, you're going to do it on a lunge distance. What? Yeah.
Do you care if we use the true and false edge?
So on the inside, in Sabre, it's best to use the false edge beat. That's quickest. But in the historical account, the early sources all show it with the true edge, whereas the earliest one that I've seen in the British tradition is Hutton, who's I think 1890 or so, and he beats with the false edge. So either one, the false edge is fantastic though. If you can use it, it's faster because you don't have to turn the hand. Okay, good question. So try it on the inside at the beginning, and then you could try it on the outside, okay? But I'm guessing there may be questions. Again, beat, hit, change, hit, beat, change, hit. Okay, give it a try. All right. So it's the same thing with thrust, right? So I present the blade, she's gonna do a beat attack, and hit, exactly. Okay, the next one she's going to do is a disengage beat, or a change beat, so boom, pop, and hit. And the last one she's going to do is she beat, disengage, pop. Let's try that again. Beautiful, just like that. So those are really, really effective with thrusts as well, especially going under the point. So in broadsword, typically what you see, and this is kind of exclusive to broadsword and maybe some French sabre stuff, most of the changes of line happen over the point if you're going to cut. So what you're going to find is that the beat, change over top, and then hit is more effective with a broadsword with a cut, but then going underneath is more effective for a thrust. Okay? Did everybody catch that? So beat, hit direct, beat, or sorry, change beat, hit direct, and then beat, disengage, hit. And so on the last one, the coach needs to pull the sword back so there's something to disengage under. And if you want to, you can start off with maybe like 5 of the first ones. So just like beat, hit, beat, hit. Like you don't have to cycle all 3 and then like work on them one at a time, you know? Or if you're getting it and you want an added layer of difficulty, go ahead and switch them up. All right, give it a try. Okay, so we're gonna do a game really similar, maybe I'll borrow Nick for this one, to the one that we did last week. If you guys remember, we did an attacking range game last week, where how do you find like the range where you can hit and they can't beat your parry. We're gonna try this a little bit with a beat attack. And if you want, you can do the fastest one, which is the false edge beat hit. So he's gonna extend his sword a little bit, but he's going to try to parry my attack. Okay? So you're going to try to defend it. So I'm going to go here. Okay, this is maybe where we'll start, tip to tip, right? I'm going to, and see if he can parry it, okay? Good. So at that range, I hit a couple times, but I didn't get it all the time. So from there, we were tip to tip. I'm going to move forward maybe 2 inches. Ah, you parried before I was ready. But that's another thing is you don't want to telegraph your beat. Okay. Hit. So at that range, I was landing pretty consistently. So for me, against Nick, about 2 inches past tip to dip, I know that at that distance, it's a little close for him to parry, right?
That's crazy how much 2 inches makes such a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
I found it so deflated.
It's like night and day.
Yeah, it felt like night and day. It was a very stark difference.
So that's like the visual cue. If we're fighting in refuse positions, it kind of hides that. So you'll see me a lot of the time, and a lot of fencers, move around a little bit, you know. Most of the time I know I can defend myself from this range, about a foot out, right? But if I break distance and I'm here, I got a 50% chance of hitting. If I'm here, it's a sure thing for me. Maybe not a sure thing. If he does a step back, I'm screwed, but right? My odds went up a lot if he stays in place, okay? So just give that a go and see where you land. And then we'll rotate and see how it goes. A few things to keep in mind: don't telegraph before. Don't tense up. It's hard not to tense up before you do it, but just try to stay as relaxed as possible and ba-ba. Okay? Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see the video, but that's farther than your head.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a hint, and this is a really, really hard skill to develop. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do it either, but maybe if I'm joined with Marley here. There was a point when I was training it a lot, this kind of sensation, is when she's coming back with a parry all the time, so I beat hit. I can tell the difference between when maybe she doesn't parry, so she lets me hit it. I can feel a difference in her blade when I beat and she's going to do it, and when, you know, she's exactly. So there's a slight difference in the blade. And we'll add that to the exercises maybe for the next one, which is sometimes you're gonna parry and sometimes you're not. So the coach, sometimes they're gonna parry and sometimes they're not, and you either go direct or indirect. But this is a really hard one to do, and I'm not fully convinced it always works, right? But there's a little difference in the grip when somebody's about to parry, or that there's a little bit, they don't want to get their blade beaten too far and they come back. Have you done those kind of exercises before, Coach?
I normally probe to see what
Probe.
they like doing.
Yeah.
People tend to like one or the other. But
you're right.
if you have a really stiff grip, people often come back.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're looser, they'll...
Yeah, 100%. And that's right. Like doing it as a second intention almost thing, where you've probed a little bit, got information, know their preferences, and then do something else. But this was almost like an open eye drill that we used to do, and it's really, really challenging, okay? So if you feel like integrating it, so maybe I'll be the coach here. She beats. Yeah, exactly. And kind of gets a feeling, you know, for what it feels like when I do it one way or another. Good, that's good, right? So maybe try that out a little bit. Sometimes parry, sometimes don't. All right, rotate partners.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so we got a sense of it. Now we're going to kind of go back to a little bit of more basic technique and just try out the mechanics and see if it works. But we're going to start from like a hanging guard or a second. If I could borrow you, Marley. So she's going to start from, are you okay using a second guard? Second or prime, whichever. So just a hanging guard, right? So she could do, if I'm in a similar guard, she can do a beat attack from there against me, right? Just beat thrust or beat cut, whatever, right? Probably the thrust is, that's what I would mostly use from there. Yeah. So we're going to do beat thrust on that side, boom. And if I go onto prime side, she can do a beat thrust from there as well, okay? And so in broadsword, another fun one that you do usually from the outside position is I'll beat and then cut 3 underneath the arm. That tends to be pretty successful too. So if you feel like just trying that, boom, up, You can try that too. But the thrusts are really good. They're solid. Okay? Just give it a try.
Same partners or rotate?
Yeah, same part. Or, you know what? Rotate. Yeah, why not? Did you guys all get a shot at doing it?
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay, I'll give you a couple more minutes. Yeah. So remember, Sebastian, try not to wind up on those. Like the thing is that if I start to wind up, he can avoid my blade, right? And then I'm getting hit. But if I just try to do it straight out, it tends to land a little bit more often. So try it on the other side. So if you want to beat him that way, start on that side. So if you want to, yeah, exactly. The palm, exactly. Okay, guys. We're gonna add one more. Just for fun. You're gonna do a beat disengagement. This might be a little bit more familiar for anyone that does Sabre. So same position, we'll go into Sagan position. What I can do from here is beat on the inside and then do a Molinelli, right? Or a Moulinet. If I want to use the wrist, I'll just do a small one. If you want to though, that's a great time to do like a big Italian one, right? Where you whack them. And the reason why is that buys you a little bit of time. It's safe to do that from there, right? So you just beat on the inside and be nice and gentle on your partner, right? You can do kind of the same thing from the outside too. Boom, like that as well. But that's kind of a beat change where you're adding a lot of power, right? Give it a try. Yeah, rotate once more.
Rotate.
Yeah.
I still understand. Sorry.
Let me try the other side. Just whip that one. I mean this side. I mean outside. Yeah. Yeah. Unload here. Do it out of now. I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna bring it in. I'll grab Marley over here. The next drill that we're gonna do is just a simple beat drill, and it can be from anywhere, but I'm basically gonna make her time an attack when I do a direction change. So we're gonna do it on mobility, and you can use any guard position. So the cues to look for from the coach is generally it's done when the coach extends or presents their blade. That's to initiate an attack. It doesn't always have to be. Sometimes you'll get it just straight from guard too, right? In reality. But she's gonna do that and time a direction change. So I'm gonna leave my point out a little bit more than normal. We'll do it on mobility. So she's gonna be watching for when I change direction. Whenever she feels comfortable, boom. And that's a sure thing, right? Because if I'm stepping forward, I can't step back, and I'm closing the distance, making it worse for myself. It's even harder to parry. Remember how we did that attacking distance thing? It's even worse if I'm stepping forward and she's stepping forward at the same time. She's for sure gonna hit me. And again. Exactly, whenever she feels ready. And again, there's no way I'm parrying that. Give it a try. Good stuff. Okay, one more little example of this before we pull into our drill or our game would be like Coach Marley brought up using it as second intention, how that's really good. You can use it as a probing action to kind of see what they do. But then the other option that sometimes they'll do is sometimes they'll attack you when you beat them. Like if you knock them out, they'll just from a throw. Like if I beat attack you, sometimes people do that, right? And then it ends up being a double. But if I saw that maybe from out of distance, maybe I probed it at the beginning and oh, I saw that, right? And I got out. Okay, I can use that. Pop, pop. So that's what you do. You use it to set up a parry riposte or a counterattack. And in that way, it's almost like counter time, right? Is that I'm using it as a beat attack, even though it's really a beat. A judge might, or somebody watching from the outside wouldn't know the difference between that and a false attack, right? But anyway, it's a beat against the blade. They do something that's not expected, or maybe it is expected, and you parry or riposte from there. So maybe just try that one a couple times each, okay? Stay with the same partner, try it a couple times, and then we'll get into our game. Well, just do it consistently a few times and get used to parrying from after a beat. Yeah. So the game is that you have one side as an attacker. Actually, you're both attackers, believe it or not. Here, I'll get you out of the way, Val. Sorry, just recording. Both of you guys are attackers. One person is going to try to land a thrust. So my goal is just to land a thrust. Okay, that gives the blade presentation for a beat attack, okay? So I might want to prepare that a little bit, try to, I'm just trying to thrust at him, right? He's going to try to hit me with a beat attack, okay? So during that phase, I'll put on a mask though. So I'm trying to land thrusts against him, presenting, beat, right? And it ends up, sometimes it'll end up being a parry or riposte, but if you're a little bit farther away, it'll be a beat attack. But even sometimes when I'm just thinking about thrusting, as I'm making the preparation, that's a great time to do it, okay? It doesn't have to be until I've committed, so it doesn't have to be a parry or riposte. That should give you the opportunities to try to get some of these blade actions or beats. And remember, you can do them from any line, any position. You just have to open with a beat too. It doesn't have to be a straight beat attack, and it can also be a change beat, a beat, disengage, hit, right? The sequence just has to start with a beat. Okay?
Does the thrust only do direct thrust, or does we do whatever?
It can be whatever. It can be whatever. It can be a change. So that's like the person that's trying to land the thrust. You should also, if they're trying to beat against you, you should do something called dérobement, or I don't know how to say it in English, dérobement, where you just avoid. That's all it is he goes for the beat, whoosh, pop. That's the defense against a beat or against a blade take, right? But whoosh, pop. If I can do that. Disengagement in time, yeah. We would call it dérobement. Yeah. Okay, give it a chance.
Yeah, thrust is a thrust.
That was good. That was good, Zifeng. I think you got the beat there.
Yeah.
Was that a beat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
False. Yeah. Oh, nice. That was good, Mark.
Yeah, there you go. Parry with the beat.
I should try to do better than that.
You want to cut that, or you want me to go?
That was a very, oh yeah.
Really good people who like
The fundamental.
Oh, good thrust. That's solid. Pardon? All right, guys. So how did it go here? Okay, now I'm curious, what kind of beat did you land?
Okay, so great. I'm so glad you asked this.
Oh, okay.
Because I was having this question with Marley. So initially here, the attack comes in almost like a scoop and then a cut.
Nice, so it's almost a parry, yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about it, like, I don't know if that counts. I don't know if that counts. And it was just like,
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's hard because like there's a category of parries which are called beat parries too. At least we call it beat parries. But like what somebody would look at would be wear on the blade. So if it's near the fore to the bottom half, that would typically be categorized by a referee as a. And it gets even more confused in British because this is a beat. Opposition attack is a beat in British. If you put your sword up and I can, this is a beat in British, and it's just an opposition cut, and this is a batter. Right? So I don't know, it gets confusing. How about you guys?
I think thrust. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, got poked a bunch of times. It's difficult. You guys? Thrust, yeah. You guys?
Beat.
Beat attack? So what kind of beat did you land?
It was kind of a. So I did like that.
This way and then.
False edge. and then-
Right. Yep, perfect. Yeah. Sometimes that forward target is easier. I saw a bunch of you guys though going for like beat and then delaying and then hitting. And you can see like the beat, it just becomes an opening. And you don't know what'll happen sometimes, or sometimes you'll have a plan, Or sometimes you can just do it open eye. That's just like, maybe to get them out of position, to get some sort of advantage, or get them desperate or uncomfortable. Yeah. You guys?
Beat, void, and then, oh, sorry, second.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah.
both sides good.
Beautiful.
Back and then-
Yeah. I realized as I was explaining the beats to you, get them desperate, uncomfortable, it really sounded like I was giving terrible dating advice. let's all grab our masks. That's class. We'll grab our masks and salute out. It sounded like some really bad far right social media dating advice. So yeah, like I said, you can just use it as an opening. There's a lot that can come from it, and it's good to throw them in every once in a while. I would say a lot of the time it tends to be like not a super high percentage move, at least in the way that we play broadsword, because a lot of times the tips are up. But anytime you catch people kind of probing or their tips are out, it's easier. Against some people, it's next to impossible. Some broadsword fencers fence with it like almost upright. It's like very difficult to get a beat attack on them. Okay, really good work. I think next class I would plan on doing grapples, because that's kind of the sequence of events that we normally do. But I think we're going to have to continue blade actions because we only did like one blade action today. Just variation. Yeah, that's like one. There's still like four small, and then we have to do like blade takes, liaison, a bunch of them, and quasi. Okay, salute out. Good job, guys. Let's get some bouting in.
I would imagine the other person has a lighter blade.
Yeah, totally.